Do you own a service business? If so, you may want to pay attention. Do you remember why you started that business in the first place? All the time and financial freedom you were going to have with your family and friends? Then you ended up wearing so many different hats in your business, and the thought around growing the business means more time at work, less time with family and friends, and more headaches with employees. If that's you, we have the solution. It's a simple formula that works, and it starts with structuring your business in a simple way that makes everything else easier. Finding and hiring the right people that actually help you grow the business, and helping you implement the key things to make your whole team more efficient and effective. This is the Pivot Ready Business System by BERGflow. We've helped hundreds of small service businesses grow and become highly successful. Elevate your opportunities, profits, and time freedom. Visit www.bergflow.com/podcast to claim your free video to learn more. You're just minutes away from learning how to transform your service business and your life. Hey everybody, this is John, your host for Under Pressure Podcast. And you guys know this podcast is about talking all things business and under pressure. It's just going to be me today. Occasionally I do that. And I know right now we've got a lot of people scheduled for the podcast with a lot of kids getting started in school, and businesses are ramping up. So giving them a little space, and thought this would be a great opportunity and a great place for me to come on and discuss some more stuff with you guys. And this one's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so for those of you who can't see, who are just listening to this and you can't see the video, I'm actually in the middle of Colorado. There's mountains literally all the way around me. There's one back here behind the tree. You can't quite see part of that, but they're all over the place. So that kind of is going to lead into what this podcast is about today. Okay. And I'm excited. You should be excited. When we talk about business and we discuss business things, we're always talking about, I know we talk to business owners, like what do they go through building the business, and how are they growing it? What struggles have they had? I've covered topics, about the culture of your business and things like that. So today we're going to shift gears a little bit because I'm here. So I just came off, been up here about a week, a little over a week, and I just got through hiking a peak, 14,000 foot peak. So if you guys don't know what that is, you don't know what a 14er is, go look it up. If you know what it is and you haven't done one, you should go do one. So it's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. It is a challenge. It's a struggle. And you do have to get in shape. Okay. But this is adventure. So I'm working here in Colorado. So, but this is also adventure. This is like my way of getting out. And my wife and I are here. We're here for like 2.5 weeks in Colorado. We started in one place, camping, hiking. We're here, got us an Airbnb at a beautiful location. And, it's great. It's like this little adventure, right? It's awesome. And we're still working, but the moment like the work is done, we get to jump out here and play, right? Fly fishing, mountain biking, hiking. There's even like this place that we have, there's like pickleball courts down here. Go play pickleball for those of you that like that. So this podcast, I want to discuss kind of unleashing your inner explorer as a business owner, right? As business owners, the importance of having adventures, going and doing things, and it doesn't have to be like mine. You don't have to go climb up a mountain. That's not what I'm saying. But the importance of business owners and leaders, even if you're like a high level leader, and really almost anyone, You got to get away from that daily grind. You've got to get out, and it's so important. So we're going to talk about like the benefits of adventure in this, right? And such things like, for example, like personal growth, creativity, and rejuvenation, right? These are things that are going to come from being adventurous. And I mean literally, like if you cannot leave your business because you know no one else can put out the dumpster fires and no one else can run it, you have got to expand it. You've got to get someone in there as a leader that's going to help with that. So let's dive into it a little bit here. And I really, I really want to talk. It's going to give you some like practical tips and maybe some insights to help you guys embrace that adventurous side of yourself if you don't already do that. If you do it, fantastic. Hang on, listen in anyway, because there may be something here like, okay, yeah, no, I see that. And maybe it's just going to help you and help your mindset. So speaking of mindset, let's talk about the adventure mindset, like embracing the unknown. So for business owners and oftentimes even leaders, jumping into business um, is kind of embracing the unknown, right? Like if you've never operated and ran a business yourself, then you know there's a good chance um, that that was a pretty unknown thing for you when you jumped in. So I know, like the first time, and since I'm up here and I'm doing this, I gotta tell you guys, the first time a buddy of mine suggested going on a 14er. I didn't know what a 14er was. Yes, I know what a mountain is, but if I came to you and you'd never heard, and I said, "Hey, you want to do a 14er?" and I had no other reference, what would you think, right? For me, I was like, "Oh, is that like a pub crawl? What's going on there?" Like, sure, I'm in for a pub crawl. No, no, he's talking about going hiking. It was like 2 weeks later, so I go and grab myself some, whatever boots to hike in, and this little pack and whatever. I don't know what. I mean, I've camped before, but and I'd even hiked, but I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, right? So we go, and then we get there, and I realize what it is we're doing. We're doing it, and I'm like, I'm sprinting to the top almost. Like I'm so excited, so beautiful, amazing. Get to the top, the views like in freaking incredible. Like you can't. I took hundreds of photos, but you know what? Like looking back on them, it just doesn't do that experience justice, right? Well, then we had to come down, and this slow grind of coming down that mountain because one of our buddies hurt his knee, so we didn't want to leave behind. Dude, I'm telling you what, when I got to the bottom of that thing, uh, and we're talking miles and miles, and you think the uphill would be the hard part. When I got to the bottom, my knees and my feet hurt so bad, and I was so pissed off, so angry. It was kind of funny. Like it was such an amazing experience at the top, but then to get down, I was so mad. I was like, man, dude, like F this. Like I'm not freaking ever doing this again because everything just hurts so bad. We got in the car. We got like 5 minutes after we packed up our camp. We got like 5 minutes down the road. And suddenly I was like, you know what? That was worth every minute of pain coming down that mountain. I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, like all the stuff I saw in that experience, it's incredible. So, that was a big thing. It was like stepping out of like my comfort zone on something that it was just unknown. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And now I'm trying to get them all done. Right. So when you step out of your comfort zone, the positive outcomes will come, right? Like they're going to flow from that. And that was just like that. Like it was out of my comfort zone and I was uncomfortable by the time I got off that mountain. But that experience, I'm not going to get that anywhere else. I can't, someone can't tell me about it. And I get the same thing. And something positive did come out of it because now I've got this new place to go and adventure. And over the years doing this, one of those positive outcomes is I've got this brotherhood of men who like that adventure as well. And they've started coming along more and more and experiencing that new, and now we're experiencing that together. So definitely something cool, right? And so think about the concept of like having that adventure mindset, right? It's very relevant to being a business owner. And you guys know this. You have to know this about yourself. There's this craving to do something different, right? Like if you started your business before you did, like there was this urge or this, and I don't know, there's a lot of reasons why. Maybe you're just like, I just want to make money. I don't want to work for anybody else. Well, there's still this relevance to being a business owner and having that adventure mindset, right? So if you embrace that unknown of adventure and have that adventurous mindset, you can foster like innovation, problem solving, and adaptability, right? So think about like the problem solving, especially like anytime you're going and doing something new, a new town, um, a new exploring, like you're going to face issues, you're going to face problems, and you have to work your way through that. And that's part of that adventure, right? Same thing with business. You're facing problems all the time. So having that adventurous mindset to be innovative, uh, to be able to solve those problems. And then, like I said before, like being able to adapt. Sometimes you got to adapt on the fly. You guys know, like, hey, this hose broke, or uh, this piece of equipment just crapped out on us, but we've got to get this job complete. What are we going to do? We've got to quickly shift and adapt, right? So, so important. Um, we have, like BERGflow has, this is on the first podcast, but BERGflow has an adventure coming up. Okay. The CEO Catalyst Mastermind. All right. This is going to be out at, and I'm just throwing this in here because this is like, and I want to use this as an example and also let you guys know, in case you don't, you need to go on and look at it. All right. So this mastermind is going to be out at Maris Adventure Park. Okay. This is a section of the Palo Duro State Canyon, but it's private land. All right. This park, it's got RV sites, it's got cabins, it's got glamping sites. You could just go off and throw a tent up in certain areas. It's a canyon, right? And there are caves to explore. We're going to be like, you're going out in Jeeps, driving. There's Jeeps out there. You don't have to bring. You can bring one if you want. Bring your Jeep if you got one, or your off-road vehicle, or whatever it is. But it's specifically for CEOs of businesses to get out, put yourself in some fun and adventure. All right. Put yourself in, man, I've been to two of these. All right. And dude, it is so amazing. Not only are the views amazing, it's going to be in October 17th through the 20th. Okay. Weather's going to be wonderful in the evening. Sit around the campfire and have some wonderful discussions. There's also going to be like some lessons to be learned, but you're going to be inundated in adventure around other business owners, okay, other CEOs and business owners of companies. And the conversation, come on, you guys know, like you've been around like a campfire, and like sometimes like it's fun, it's laughter, and then you go from that to like serious in-depth conversation that you're just not going to get anywhere else. Okay. So much fun driving Jeeps on trails. Okay. These trails go, think of like snowboarding or skiing, and you've got like color codes, right? Like, so you got the greens are the easiest, blue, black, so on and so forth. Well, it's the same thing out here. You can get on a green, you can get on blue, you get on black, double black. Like I think they even have one that's purple. Okay. There are some extreme stuff that's so much freaking fun. Adventure. All right. So mark it down on your calendar. If you're hearing this, you just invest in yourself. Okay. Invest in adventure. Do it. October 17th. You can go to www.bergflow.com/CEO-catalyst. Check that out. You can just go to the BERGflow site and email me. I'll shoot you the direct link, but you can also just go to the BERGflow site and check it out. Go under trainings. You'll see it says Catalyst Mastermind. It's a venture mastermind. Click on there, check it out, look at it. Now, that is what I'm talking about. We've done this twice, okay, this particular event, and there's only 9 seats left. But doing this, we've had some of these guys that have come out, and man, they just these owners eat it up, man. They just have so much fun, and when it's done, not one time did I ever hear, "Oh, come on, man, I really should have just stayed home." No, they're like, "Dude, really needed this. My spirit needed this. My mind needed this." And man, they embraced the adventure and reaped the rewards from it, and went back empowered and freaking rejuvenated and ready to rock and roll. All right. And so that's part of that also, like the benefits of adventure, like recharging your business batteries, right? So, man, we all get like that exhaustion, and like we talk to business owners every day, and they tell me about the burnout. They're tired, they're so exhausted. Sometimes they don't even want to go in there and deal with all these freaking fires they're having to put out. And hey, you just got to get away, right? There's got to be some kind of adventure in your life. The burnout that results from that constant work without breaks, it can really affect not only you personally, but your business, because how you're showing up, people see it, and they're going to feed off of that, right? So you got to take time away from business to recharge and gain like fresh perspectives. So even if it's not like the CEO mastermind thing that we've got going on at BERGflow, that's a great way. Not only is it venture and fun, but you're also getting fresh perspectives and giving fresh perspectives to other business owners. But even if you're not going to that, any adventure you go on, like whatever your business is, you guys, if you're a window cleaner, power washer, come on, guys, you know what you're doing. You're watching, you see somebody doing it, or you see a particular window, or uh, something just pops into your head when you have that time away, and you're like, man, I didn't even think about it that way until just now, right? So that recharge and gaining fresh perspectives. It can also like stimulate creativity. Okay, being in nature or whatever the adventure looks like for you, it can stimulate that creativity, and in turn, when you get back, that's going to boost productivity and enhance decision making abilities. Okay, that refreshment, that rejuvenation, stimulation, dude. Like it's those of you who have done this, and the importance of it, and maybe most people at a certain level in business, it's so hard for them to get out and get away. And oftentimes they're stuck working in the business and can't even work on the business, right? So that's got to change. And this could be a way where getting away can also like help spark some of that creativity and enhance your decision making, especially if you're stuck on something, right? So uh, you know, it's so funny remembering like all the stories that people tell, like these guys that I know personally that are business owners, and some of the adventures they go on, dude, like in the mountains especially. And I know a lot of people go to the mountains and also own businesses. And I tell you what, man, like I can remember we're hiking up we're just trying to get to the dadgum campground. Okay, we're not car camping. We're actually packing in all our stuff. We get to a point. I mean, dude, it was like this. Okay, it was like 70 something degrees outside. I'm in shorts. We're all in shorts, t-shirt. We got our big giant packs on. Sweating it up the hill, and it's hard. It's tough, man, carrying 60, 70 pounds up a hill. But we're like probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile away from the lake. Beautiful lake, right at the foothills, well, right beneath these peaks, right? These summits. And 70 degrees, so awesome, but we're sweating to death because we're, really putting in the work. All of a sudden, dude, these clouds freaking come over like that. Didn't even see, you can't see them because you're right there kind of inside the mountain. So they just, boom, they pop over the mountain there, dropped, temperature dropped to like 35 degrees. like, like that. I mean, it's just like that fast. And then it started like snowing and sleeting on us at the same time. And this mixture of like snow, sleet, rain. So we're scrambling. And yeah, there's trees everywhere, but we're literally all in shorts. We're getting soaking wet. We're having to pull out our like jackets out of the packs and then recover them so everything doesn't get soaking wet. And then we're huddled under this freaking tree, just freezing to death. But dude, it like lasted like 30 minutes and then it was gone. You know, what the crap, man? And then we took out. So we take out back off. We get to the campground, and it's a beautiful day. You know, it's like nothing happened. And in that moment, like everybody's pissed off, and then we're at the top, like laughing, having a good time. It's so it's so rewarding, and going through that stuff sometimes can be in the moment can be a little frustrating, and it kind of sucks, but later, man, it's just so funny, and you can gain so much insight from a lesson like that. So let's talk about planning your adventure, like balancing risk and reward. Um, when you're planning an adventure, it can be very, it's kind of like, setting goals and planning like jobs and things like that. So you can think of that as well. You want to, in business, when you're doing that, you want to minimize like disruption, right? And it's kind of the same thing when you're planning an adventure, you're planning one of these things. It's going to align, that adventure planning is going to kind of align with that as well. It's that same concept. Like you don't want to constantly be interrupted and disrupted in like an adventure situation, right? And it's the same thing at work and as you're operating and running your business. So that's kind of like we come out here, and the great thing about the mountains is you get to certain points and there's no cell service. So, as far as like having to set boundaries with people, like your employees and stuff like that, reaching out to you, they're up here, certain spots, you don't have to worry about that because you ain't getting no service anyway. But there's a huge importance of setting boundaries, and so you're not interrupted and you can actually have the adventure, enjoy your time, right? So, on top of that, you got to delegate responsibilities to ensure that your business is running smooth in your absence. Put the freaking phone down, put the computer away, right? Don't be checking your freaking emails all the time. If you can't get away from your business for a week or two, and you don't trust, even longer, a month, there's no one there that you can trust to run and operate your business. Now I get it. Like some of you listen to this may be like, you know what, man, my business is that it's like me and two people. Okay, well, you better start working on some systems and some strategies, and working on building a leader that, what are you just never going to leave? No, like you've got to start somewhere and start pouring into someone or hiring that leader. that you can delegate things to. And you know, if you have to step away or leave, your business isn't going to fall apart. It's very important. And you guys know if you've gone and you're in that situation, half the time I've got buddies, man. They're in that situation and we'll be out doing adventure stuff. And if we've got cell service, like every freaking 10 minutes, they're texting, they're having to send an email, someone's calling them about some problem. No, it's BS. Okay. Now, if you're in that situation and you don't have a choice, solve it as quickly as possible so you can ensure that smooth absence. Okay. Now let's talk about like the stories that you're going to have to you're going to come back with and the lessons that you're going to learn. Uh, think about your own adventures that you have been on, and even if it was before being a business owner, if that's who you are now, uh, or while you've been a business owner, if you've had that opportunity. Uh, were you think back on the stories and think about like can some of those things uh, that you learned or you experienced, can you apply them or incorporate them into your life? Like we talked about a little bit before, can you see the parallels, a challenge, a struggle, like going up this freaking mountains every time I do it? It's like I'm telling you right now. I mean, it's not like I'm just skipping and whistling and picking daisies, throwing them in the air. That's not what's happening, right? It's like I'm breathing hard. Have you ever been at high altitude and hiking up a hill? Dude, if you don't live, I don't live in altitude. No, I'm in, I'm like a 1,000 foot elevation back on this. We're talking starting out 10, 11, going up to over 14. Dude, I'm telling you, the oxygen is thin, the air's thin. Uh, it, it hurts and there's some suffering involved. So these conversations are happening in my mind. Like, dude, I want to quit. I want to stop. I don't want to do this anymore. It's uncomfortable, right? But when I look up, every time I look up, I stop for a second, I catch my breath, and I look at the top of that peak, and I'm seeing sometimes there's people ahead of you, and you can see like they're pushing through. You look behind you, and people are coming up the trail. You're like, man, I can't stop. I can't quit. The reward is up there, right? So there's a lesson there of persevering through the tough stuff, right? And you can apply that, and so take those things that you have experienced in adventure, and then now start thinking about the adventures you're going to plan to go to, and think in advance. Like I'm going to be focusing on adventure, but I'm also going to be like like tucking away these little awesome nuggets of information that I'm acquiring, these things that I can apply, you know, in my life and in my business. Okay. So going back over this a little bit, uh, you know, embracing the unknown. All right. You got to have that adventure mindset. And as a business owner, you should probably have something similar anyway. But remember the outcomes. Having that adventure mindset is very relevant to being a business owner. Okay. Because it's going to foster innovation, problem solving, and adaptability. So making you being able to adapt and pivot when you need to. Recharging your batteries. All right. That's what this is about as well. Talked about it. Recharge your batteries. Freaking recharge your batteries, guys. Ladies, adventure is waiting for you to get out there, take care of something, take care of yourself, take your family with you. Maybe it's a solo trip, whatever it is, but recharge your batteries. Come back positive, come back, uh, full of the rewards that you've gained from the adventure in that fresh perspective. And then when you're planning, make sure like balancing that risk and reward, make sure that you have set boundaries, making sure that you give yourself time to enjoy that, right? Give yourself time to freaking enjoy the adventure that you're on without answering your daggone phone every freaking 5 seconds. And I'm guilty. I'll tell you right now, like, I got to do something. I'm guilty of checking the phone all the time. Is someone calling in? Does somebody need something? This or that. That's why it's better for me if I don't have self service. And if you have that problem, hey, leave that freaking phone in the hotel or at camp or in your truck, or just turn it off and stuff it down at the bottom of your bag just in case you need it later or something. But and sometimes that's hard because you're wanting to take photos with your phone and all that, but put it on do not disturb, and have somebody keeping you accountable, right? So embrace your adventurous side, okay? And and plan your own escapades out, but or jump into the CEO mastermind that we're doing. Come on, October 17th through the 20th. How many people like to get out in vehicles and do some cool Jeep crawling and stuff like that? Maybe. Probably most of you. And if you've never done it, how do you freaking know you don't know that you like it? It's not like you're jumping out of a dadgum plane. And if that's your thing, hey, I'm all about it. How many like caves? I do not. Sorry, I don't like caves. I don't like tight confined spaces. I'm kind of a big dude, and I'm claustrophobic. But you know what? I forced myself to go into some of those caves. Maybe not all the way. There were some places I just couldn't fit. But I went in there. I looked around. I climbed over some stuff, and then it was real freaking uncomfortable. And then I got out. But I did some of that, right? And that's part of that adventure. Uh, the impact adventure can have on your personal growth and creativity and business success is well worth the time, energy, and money. It's so worth it. And it doesn't even have to be something that's expensive, right? What what's it worth to just go and help benefit your business and your life, and maybe the life of those that you're taking with you? What's it worth? Is it worth $1,500? That's nothing, right? Is it worth 2 grand? Is it worth 3 grand? Whatever, nothing. Now, I know everybody's got to work hard for the money, but you just putting it in the bank. What are you doing with it? I'm not suggesting you go out and just blow all your money. Saving is good and doing that, but also you get burned out. I promise you're going to end up spending more money on other crap like your health, like having to go to the freaking doctor and deal with stress and anxiety and worry. Find yourself drinking more. What's that going to cost? Right? Take care of yourself. Get out and have some fun. Okay. Now that's a wrap for today. All right. But listen, if gals out there want to know more, you just want to talk adventure. Okay. My email's on there. I'll give you my freaking cell phone number. I don't care. But if you own a business and you want to just know a little bit more about what I'm talking about, like with this mastermind, or even like, hey man, I'm curious about this 14er thing you were talking about. I looked it up a little bit. I want to hear it from you. Tell me more. Just call me. Just email me, and I will freaking send you the phone number. You can go to BERGflow. I think my phone number's on there. Uh, but let me know, because here's the deal. I see people watching this, all right? And don't forget to click like and share and tell your friends about it, things like that. But so I see people. In fact, I just rolled over 10,000 downloads, and that's not even like those that just listen. Okay, so we're getting popular. We're gaining some ground here, and I know there's a lot of people that hear this. Don't freaking ignore it. What good is information if you're just going to listen to it and then you don't apply it? What good is it? Read a book, don't apply what you learn in the book. What good is that? You might as well not have freaking read it. So call me, email me, click, like, share. Even if you got a complaint, send me an email and say, dude, I don't like your show. Okay, man, cool. Tell me what I can do better. All right. I'm always open for ideas and I always want to grow and learn. And I hope you have that same mindset. So let's adventure, man. I'm not done here in Colorado. Like I'm here for longer, right? So I'm gonna be out doing some stuff later today, uh, tomorrow, this weekend. We're gonna go meet with a couple we met in this awesome mastermind. Um, that I went on another adventure a few weeks ago in Idaho that my wife and I went on, and now we're part of this group of people who love adventure and love building businesses and things like that. So same thing, right? I'm gonna go meet with them because they live up in this area, uh, and then we're moving on. We're moving on to a different location next week in Colorado. We're gonna hike another peak, which is it's gonna be a pretty gnarly peak. And it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna be in Jeeps, side by sides, cruising around, doing all kinds of stuff, uh, going on hikes, fly fishing, mountain biking. I got my bikes right over here. Get out, do adventure, live life. Do not inundate yourself with work so much that you hate life. Okay. Do adventure. Let me know if you're interested in the CEO Adventure Mastermind through BERGflow. We would love to see it. There's only 9 seats. There's only 9 freaking seats left. All right. And I don't even know. I haven't looked uh, this morning, maybe less. So get on, get yourself a ticket. We're going to take care of the rest. You just have to get yourself there. All right. Let me know if we can help or accommodate. I'm John, your host, Under Pressure Podcast, where we discuss everything business and under pressure. Have a freaking great day.